In the past, when I've done reset videos, I think I've set my expectations way too high on myself. As a mom of two, it is really hard to get even a couple of things done in a day, let alone the expectations I would set on myself, where I would plan to restock the fridge with healthy home cooked meals and do a workout and go for a long run and spend quality time with the kids and do homeschool and work and just do all these things. And of course, clean the entire house at the same time. And it just never all ended up getting done. I would always end up at the end of it feeling very defeated and definitely not reset and recharged, which was supposed to be the whole point. So today I'm taking you through a slow and easy reset with me, because I think you can spend any day and decide that it's going to be a time to reset. So that's what we're doing today. Anytime I do a reset, I think I have to do a little bit of cleaning to start. I think it's just human nature, and it's almost like the meaning of the word reset is just to kind of clean up your space, clean up your mind, clean up your to-do list, and really kind of get rid of the clutter so that you can think clearly and prioritize what's important. This is one of those rooms that I clean up at least 2 to 4 times a day, and it's definitely one that I try to have tidied up every night, and I think that really makes for a good morning for myself, because then I'm able to start the day off with a clean slate. But throughout the day it definitely gets messy and I have to kind of reset and make that space better. But I feel like the whole family just is more relaxed and able to function better when that room is clean in particular. Lately, I have really been focusing on trying to be consistent with the housework. Earlier on, as a mom, I think I really got overwhelmed by housework very quickly and realized it was just something that I couldn't wait until the weekend to do, because then it would ruin my weekend. I'm also naturally a people pleaser, so if people want to do something on the weekend, or my husband wants to do something, or the kids want to do something, I would feel bad if I had to say no in order to stay home and clean up the house, even if that was going to make for a better week. And so now I'm really trying to slim down my schedule so that I have more time each day at home. Earlier this year, we were literally go, go, go every single day, and it showed in my house because I just never had time to do a deep clean or stay up on the laundry and simple things like that. And doing this each day makes all of the difference to where I'm not overwhelmed by the housework anymore, because I just know it's part of my daily rhythm. But that took a really long time for it to click in my brain and become part of my life as a mom. It is so warm out here today. It's like 70. The other day when I ran, it was like almost 80 in March, which is crazy. But it feels so good. But I'm definitely like a little out of running shape, especially with the stroller. Toward the end of my training, I wasn't doing a whole lot with the stroller, just because I needed to do longer distances. So one of the ways I'm kind of resetting for spring and for summer is getting back into taking the kids in the stroller for runs. And I'm kind of doing it around Zoe's nap time, because Zoe isn't a great sleeper, and one of the ways it's easiest for her to go to sleep is either in the car or the stroller. So I decided to start doing stroller runs for her, and right now she finally fell asleep. So finally, it took like 20 minutes, but she's asleep. Maybe not even that much. And I'm taking a little break walking, because I'm not pushing any sort of crazy pace or anything with the stroller. It's pushing like almost 100 pounds. So it's definitely like I don't push a crazy pace or try to when I'm pushing the stroller. I just try to take it easy and run when I can. Try to keep running most of the time, but I definitely take some walking breaks, because especially on the hills, it can be really brutal. And we're easing back into things, because I have not had a super structured fitness routine for the last few weeks, ever since the marathon. I basically stopped training after the marathon, took a little break. I've been doing some gym workouts. I've been loving the Whitney Simmons app, and that's been really, really good for gym workouts. And I've been doing some of her plans for the gym, but I haven't started running again yet. I am planning on doing the Garden of the Gods 10 miler again this year. So that'll be the next race that I'm racing, which is in June. So definitely starting to get back into training, but still taking it nice and easy to start.
I think the next part of a reset is making sure you are prioritizing some self-care or just some personal goals. And that's something I used to make lists and kind of feel like I was setting goals and doing things, but instead I found that it's more important for me to actually take action on something. So one thing I've been doing the last few weeks is nap time runs. So when Zoe gets ready to go down for her nap, I pop the kids in the stroller and go for anywhere between a 1 to 3 mile jog. And one, this helps me get some exercise, and two, it gets Zoe down for a nap. So it's really killing two birds with one stone. I used to think that I had to make a plan before I could start resetting, and I find that taking action is so much more important. So whether that means, middle of the week, deciding to go for a run and then drink electrolytes afterward and then take my vitamins, even though I haven't done it the rest of the week, I find I feel so much more fulfilled after doing that versus making a plan and then not being able to stick to it when I plan to do it on Monday or the next day or whatever it is. Just doing it in the moment is so much more fulfilling. Homeschooling has been a bit of a challenge for me, more than I would like to admit. Even though I love this curriculum, I just find that our schedule has been a bit too packed over the last 6 months to effectively do homeschool. And even though it's not like 100% mandatory this year, I do want to create a rhythm for myself because it's giving me anxiety to think about starting kindergarten next year with Juliet and having it be all homeschool and me not be prepared to teach her and just not having a system in place. So I'm really trying to get a good routine going over the next few months and during the summer, really, just to make sure I'm prepared.
Try to color in the line, sweetie.
But I like it here.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of first-time homeschool moms can relate that it's really challenging with 2 kids. I don't know how anyone does it with more than 2 kids, but for me, I really try to involve Zoe as much as she wants to, but she just turned 3 and she's not quite in the mood to sit through and do worksheets and stuff yet. So I normally just let her hang out with us, and I find that even us just doing, 20 minutes to sometimes closer to like 2 hours of homeschool really makes me feel fulfilled as a mom and just makes me feel like I checked a major box. My kids got that quality time, and it just makes me feel a lot more prepared. And so instead of procrastinating and making a bunch of plans about how I'm going to homeschool, I find that just jumping into it each day, even if it's not at the same time or not at the time I planned, and doing it is just a big game changer for me and makes me feel overall just better.
What letter?
E.
Good. Is this uppercase or lowercase?
Uppercase.
Good. Can you find the other E? Good. All right. All right. What is this?
Duck.
Was it a duck or a goose?
Goose.
Good. What does goose start with?
D.
Good. Is that uppercase or lowercase?
This uppercase.
Good. Okay, so we just finished homeschool for today. I'm trying to at least do 1 lesson a day with Juliet. She is my 5-year-old, and she's about to go into kindergarten starting in August. So I'm right now doing the Good and the Beautiful, the preschool curriculum with her. We're almost to the 2nd assessment, and we just started this year, which was really fun. We just started in January. I really like it because it's open and go. So if this is all we do for the day, I still feel like it is plenty. One thing I heard from some people is they felt like it was too rigorous for what they wanted. For me, it's like the perfect level of rigorous because I didn't want something that felt too simple to where I didn't feel like she was getting enough. But I also didn't want to have to do multiple curriculums. If you're somebody who likes to pick and choose and kind of craft your own thing, this might not be for you just because they really do pack pretty much everything you need into the curriculum for each lesson. But I feel like it's really good. We're already through letter G, so we're about to start on H. So we're making really, really good progress. She has been in preschool since August of last year, 2 days a week. And that's where I feel like she did the bulk of her learning. I didn't really do a whole lot with her outside of it other than like our homeschool co-op. We kept it very like play-based, we would do, worksheets and nature centers and things like that. So we definitely learned things and, but had it be very like nature and play focused. And that was only 1 day a week. So the rest of the time I didn't really do anything major with her, just because I had, a 2-year-old as well. And it was just like too much for me at the time on top of working. But this year I felt like we were were in a good spot to finally actually start a curriculum. So went ahead and got Good and the Beautiful. It's the one I had my eye on for quite a while. And so far we've absolutely loved it. Definitely recommend it. My game plan for the spring is I'm hoping to have us finished through the preschool curriculum by the end of summer so that in August we can start the kindergarten curriculum, and then she'll be going to a co-op as well where she'll do that for 1 day a week in addition to what she's doing right now. So most of her schoolwork will be at home with me, but then she'll also have 1 day a week where she's, you know, doing stuff as well. And she'll have like a little bit of homework and stuff like that for that, but it's still like very mild where most of her schooling's with me. And I feel like Good and the Beautiful is gonna be perfect for that. But because I didn't start this until the spring, until January, I, you know, obviously have a ways to go to get through it all. So right now we're trying to do at least one lesson a day. There's 90 lessons. And Zoe gets to do it with us when she wants to. I definitely incorporate her when it comes to like the coloring. I'll often make a copy of the worksheet and let her do it too. You know, when there's matching, or like, you know, there's a game called like Mouse House where they find like the mouse underneath the different letters and stuff and they say the sound. I let her play that, but I don't necessarily have her doing all the tracing and stuff like that, even though she is very good at tracing. I have another toddler book that's like a Scholastic toddler book that I have her do tracing in, and that's been great. Same with like the cutting and things like that. They practice all that in this preschool curriculum. However, I am planning on repurchasing this curriculum along with the practice sheets for Zoe when we start preschool. However, I don't know if I'll for sure do that in August or not. I probably will, just so I have it available if we want to start it, but at the same time, I didn't start anything formal with Jules until after she was 4 and Zoe just turned 3. So Jules started going to preschool 2 days a week when she turned 4, and that seemed perfect. You know, it wasn't like, you know, I definitely encouraged, you know, we did a lot of coloring and crafts and, you know, things like that, but I didn't do anything super formal until she turned 4. So that's why I'm not super stressed about starting anything major with Zoe. But at the same time, I do really like this curriculum, and I think it would be helpful for her to have something to follow along with, and it definitely couldn't hurt to have her, you know, already doing some of this, so that by the time she starts preschool at age 4, she will already be a little bit ahead of the game. So we'll just have to see, but so far, like I said, I really love this curriculum. I feel like it's perfect for Juliet. Some of the stuff that we're on right now, she definitely already knows, because at her school they've done like a lot of the letters and things like that. So I think, but like from what I've heard, this curriculum as well as the kindergarten curriculum can like actually get them reading, which is my goal. So I definitely want to get her reading. Like that's my goal for like perhaps by end of this year. Like it'd be great if I could get her reading by end of this year. We'll just have to see, but that's kind of like a loose goal right now. We do reading every single day in addition to this. So we do reading every single night. We'll do books throughout the day. You know, she has it at school as well. But this is where we're really focusing on teaching her how to read, which is a whole different ball game that I've never done before. It's like potty training. Like you just don't know it until you've actually like done it with one of your children, and then it's a lot easier with the next one. So I'm very hopeful, but for spring, I'm really just working on us trying to do at least a lesson a day. If she's in the mood, I'll try to do like 2 lessons, but that's about our max right now, is like 2 lessons a day, because she just starts to get bored and not want to like sit and, you know, do that anymore. So sometimes it's better for us just to do, you know, a lesson and call it good. I want to make it very fun and not feel forced. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of like getting into it, and then she starts to enjoy it. And I love this curriculum incorporates songs and little like hand movements and games and tracing and cutting and coloring. There's like lots of different things. So it really keeps it interesting versus it just being worksheets. Okay, so it's a little bit later on. I am gonna make some dinner. I'm actually making dinner for a friend whose husband's out of town for work. So I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna make some homemade rolls because I just haven't made them in a while, and someone was saying that like spring baking is such a vibe, and I was like, that's true. I was like, I feel like I got out of my baking phase like at the beginning of the year and was just like not in a good routine of baking, but I do think like it's spring. I feel like I'm making a lot more like stuff at home. We're grilling a lot more, and homemade rolls just absolutely hit. So that's what I'm doing today. So I'm just following a recipe. It's Sally's baking addiction, and I've done this one before. It turns out really, really good. Super easy. It's just made with yeast and regular flour. It has egg. It's really easy to make, and they're made in a couple of hours. So let's get right into it.
Cooking from scratch is something else that I really enjoy doing, but over the last couple of months, it has been really hard to be consistent or make things from scratch like bread or even just dinner. A lot of times I feel like I can do like breakfast and lunch, but then dinner we're driving through somewhere or I'm picking up an instant meal from Target, and I really want to get back into that habit of making food at home. And one, it's just better for you, and two, I feel like I get a lot of satisfaction from trying new recipes and making things from scratch, and it's fun and it's a hobby that I genuinely enjoy and don't feel like a pressure to do, but it's fun when I get to do it. And a lot of times I get to involve the kids in it as well, and I hope that's something they remember when they're older, is cooking with me and baking with me. And I hope that as I get better at baking and cooking, that they will be able to get those skills as well and have those skills kind of passed on to them.
We're right here.
Tonight I was doing some quick yeast rolls to go along with a dinner I was bringing to a friend whose husband was out of town, and I really love doing this for friends and family, just being able to bring a meal over. And tonight was nothing fancy, and honestly the only reason I even did the rolls at home was because I had all the ingredients and I figured might as well, and it was something to do with the kids as well. I think a lot of times I will try to do things on my own without involving them, and then they'll be coming up and distracting me or wanting to be involved. And now I think I've gotten really good at just involving them in the process, whether that's with cleaning or cooking or baking or gardening, whatever I'm doing, just kind of like letting them be part of it. And it's then just like a memory for both of us, and I look back on it a lot more fondly than if I was just kind of irritated and trying to kind of keep them out of the space while I do it. It's a lot more fulfilling for us to do it together. I don't always feel this way though. Sometimes I definitely enjoy just cooking on my own, and a lot of times if Daniel gets home in time for him to help with the kids while I'm cooking dinner, that is actually some of the nicest time where I can just like cook a meal without having anyone around me. I'll put my headphones in or turn on some music and just like zone out for a little bit and cook dinner. And sometimes that's just a really nice reset for myself. It makes me feel like I completed something, because I think as moms we have a lot of projects that we start and don't get to finish, or at least don't get to finish uninterrupted. So to cook an entire meal just with no distractions is sometimes really nice as well.
And then we need salt. Which I'm pretty much out of.
Don't.
Oh, we're like totally out of salt. Okay. All right.
Okay. There. There's that. I'm going to get it.
While I'm waiting for the meat to defrost, I thought I would take you guys through some of the meal planning I'm doing for the next couple weeks. So I've been loving, this is like my favorite cookbook of all time. I've talked about it a lot. This one and my marathon training cookbook have been like my go-to for recipes lately. But I also want to find some like fun spring recipes, so I'm gonna look on Pinterest as well. And I figure I'll just like write down a few ideas or sticky note them here, and then I'll go grocery shopping. I'm probably not gonna go grocery shopping today, but I'll definitely like insert the footage when I do. I might make like a TikTok or something like that, and I'll definitely take you guys along though and show you what I'm getting. But I'm just like kind of looking to make some more homemade meals and things that are a little bit more nutrient dense. I feel like lately I've been doing a lot of like either just kind of like quick basic meals that are still good, like grilled veggies and chicken and stuff like that, or we've been doing things like tacos and spaghetti, just kind of like boring, kind of run-of-the-mill easy things, which is totally fine. That's just been like kind of the phase of life we've been in the last few weeks. But now that we're finally getting like into spring and it's been warm outside, I want to come up with like some healthier recipes for us to have that are a little bit more adventurous. I love like Greek food and things like that. We'll be doing a little bit more like Indian and Thai food and stuff, so I think like things like that would be really, really good for the spring, as well as like just like being able to like eat outside just is like absolutely the vibe. So I'm gonna kind of look through and find some recipes I think would go with that.
As I mentioned earlier, I have had a hard time cooking meals at home and planning meals at home. I think it's just been a combination of being too busy, which is like the theme of this video, is that I've been too busy to do some of these things, where I've had to do a lot of just like pre-made meals or driving through or leftovers, and or just stuff that I don't honestly love as far as a dish goes. It's, you know, spaghetti or, you know, things like that, which there's nothing wrong with that occasionally, but when you're having it 2 or 3 times a week, it gets really old. And I like trying out new recipes, but it does take some prep work. It takes, you know, laying everything out ahead of time and making sure you have the ingredients, and that process slows things down a little bit. But I definitely noticed that over the last few months, I've gotten too busy again, even though I worked really hard to slow my life down over the fall of last year. I've gotten really busy again, where it's been go, go, go all the time. There's multiple things on the calendar every single week, every single day, and that does not give me the space to cook meals at home or bake or bring somebody a dinner or do homeschool with the kids, because we're always going to something and doing something. And even though it's so great to have that time with people and to have fun things to go to, I think also creating a rhythm of slowing down and making sure I have time for the things that are important is honestly more important, and over the long term is going to be what makes me feel the most fulfilled, helps lower my anxiety, and just helps me feel better as a mom. And I think my kids feel the same way. I definitely know my husband notices it when I'm able to slow down and be more present and have dinner ready and the house is tidied up and I'm more calm and relaxed. It's not that he's expecting those things, but when he sees that I've done those things, I think he knows that I'm in more of an alignment with myself and we're not screeching to a halt at the end of the day and eating food out of a bag and, you know, or running to the next thing, quickly eating and then running off to something. It's nice being able to come home and have a relaxed setting, and also for myself to have a relaxed setting just to be able to unwind and decompress at the end of the day. Back on the topic of eating healthy, I don't feel like I've been eating the healthiest lately, and neither have my kids. Like I said, we've been eating a lot of fast food or prepackaged things, so it was so nice to make some healthy meals for a change and some stuff from scratch. This zucchini bread turned out so good. It's made with almond flour, and the kids had never tried zucchini bread, and they really, really loved it.
Okay, so I just folded everything in, and anytime it says do not overmix something and to fold it in, I always think of the show, I'm not gonna say the word just in case littles are listening, but Blanks Creek, because they're like, fold it in, David. That's what I always think of. So now it says to fold in the chocolate chips. That should be good. Just gonna finish off that bag here. Okay, it says just to fold these in gently. This is looking so good. Okay. Hopefully this turns out, because I did it with a flax egg because I'm all out of eggs. But figured have the added nutrients of the flax as well. So
resetting does not mean having to do this huge overhaul. I think it really actually is about slowing down and taking a look at your priorities and what things make you feel the best and what things need to be a priority in your life, and then taking action on all those things. So making a healthy meal, you know, resetting your home, spending time with your kids, doing homeschool, getting in a workout. Those are all things that just after they're done make you feel so much better as a person and as a mom, and make you just feel fulfilled in every sense of the word. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.